Hey there, welcome to Legends of All Time. Today, we're walking into the roaring streets of ancient Rome to meet a man whose name became a title, whose ambition cracked a whole political system, and whose death changed the course of history. His name is Gaius Julius Caesar, brilliant general, sharp politician, and the key figure in Rome's shift from republic to empire. Before Caesar, Rome was a republic on the edge of breaking. Powerful families fought for control. The rich grew richer from conquest, while ordinary citizens were pushed into debt and poverty. Generals used their armies not just to defend Rome, but to gain personal power. The system that once made Rome strong was starting to tear itself apart. Into this world stepped Caesar, ambitious, charming, fearless, and absolutely sure he was meant for more than an ordinary career. He was born into an old but not very rich noble family, so nothing was guaranteed. He had to climb. He used everything he had: a sharp mind, a talent for speaking, bravery in battle, and the ability to win people over. He spoke in courts, impressed crowds in the forum, and built ties with both the powerful and the poor. Caesar understood one simple rule of Roman politics: you must be loved by the people and respected or feared by the elite. His big political breakthrough came when he formed an informal alliance with two giants of his time: Crassus, the richest man in Rome, and Pompey, its most famous general. Together, they are known as the First Triumvirate. It wasn't an official office, it was a power deal. They shared influence, helped each other win offices and decisions, and quietly bent the republic to their will. For Caesar, the main prize was a military command that would take him out of Rome and put an army under his control. That command sent him to Gaul, a huge region roughly matching modern France and Belgium. There, Caesar turned himself from a rising politician into a legendary general. For years, he led campaigns against Gallic tribes, crossing rivers, storming hilltop fortresses, and surviving near disasters. He marched fast, struck hard, and took big risks. He shared danger with his soldiers, fought near the front lines, and knew many of them by name. In return, they loved him with a loyalty that scared his enemies. While he was conquering, he was also storytelling. Caesar wrote Commentaries on the Gallic War, a clean, simple account of his campaigns, written in a way that made him look rational, brave, and always in control. Copies reached Rome. Senators and citizens read about victory after victory, about huge armies defeated and vast territories added to Rome's power. His fame grew with every page. He wasn't just a general now, he was the man who had made Gaul Roman. But success has a price. The more victories he won, the more the Senate feared him. Some saw him as a hero, others as a threat to the Republic. When his term in Gaul ended, his enemies in Rome wanted him to return without his army as a private citizen. That would leave him open to trials, attacks, and political ruin. Caesar faced a brutal choice: obey the law and risk everything, or break it and risk civil war. That choice came at a small river called the Rubicon, the boundary his army was not allowed to cross. Legend says that as he stepped forward with his troops, he said, "The die is cast." By crossing that river with his legion, he broke the rules and made war with his own state. But turning back would have meant the end of his power, so he moved forward. Civil war exploded. Pompey and many senators fled Italy to gather their own forces. Caesar acted with his usual speed. He pushed south, took control of Rome, and chased his rivals across the Mediterranean. Great battles followed, in Greece, in North Africa, and in Spain. Again and again, Caesar's bold strategies and quick decisions carried the day. Step by step, he destroyed the armies that stood against him. In the middle of this storm, he was drawn into the politics of Egypt. There, he met Cleopatra, the young queen fighting for her own throne. Their alliance mixed strategy and attraction. Caesar helped her secure power. She gave him money, support, and a connection to one of the richest kingdoms of the ancient world. Their partnership added another layer to his image, not only a Roman leader, but a player on a global stage. Returning to Rome as the clear victor, Caesar became the unchallenged master of the state. The Senate granted him the title of dictator, at first for a term, then for 10 years, and eventually for life. On paper, the old offices of the Republic still stood. There were consuls, assemblies, and magistrates, but everyone knew where real authority lived now, with Caesar. For many ordinary Romans, this meant stability, food, and games. For many senators, it meant the slow death of the Republic they claimed to defend. Caesar wasn't just a power grabber, he was also a reformer. He cut down some debts, reorganized who counted as a citizen, planted veterans in new colonies, and opened the Senate to people from outside old Roman families. He redesigned the calendar into the Julian system, which is the ancestor of the one used today. In his vision, Rome was not just a city ruling Italy, it was the center of a broad, diverse empire, and its institutions had to match that reality. The problem was that his growing honors and titles made him look less like a first citizen and more like a king. He wore a laurel crown, accepted grand statues and ceremonies, and seemed, to some, too comfortable with near-royal status. The word king was poison in Rome, a reminder of the monarchy they had thrown off centuries before. Even the suspicion that Caesar might want a crown was enough to make many panic. A group of senators decided that the only way to save the Republic was to kill him. They weren't poor rebels, they were members of the elite, including men he had forgiven or advanced, and one, Brutus, whom he trusted. They chose the Senate House as the stage. The setting was perfect, the heart of the old Republic, the place where law was supposed to rule over men. On the appointed day, Caesar entered, unarmored with only a light escort. The conspirators surrounded him with fake petitions and then drew their daggers. Blow after blow fell. Ancient writers say he tried to resist at first, then pulled his toga over his head as he collapsed at the base of a statue. Whether or not he actually spoke any famous last words, the scene itself was powerful enough. The most famous Roman of his time murdered by his peers in the name of freedom. The conspirators thought Rome would cheer. They imagined crowds praising them as liberators and the Republic snapping back into its old shape. It misjudged the mood. Caesar had given land to veterans, staged public games, and brought a kind of rough order after years of chaos. Many Chisidans loved him, or at least liked the stability he represented. Instead of peace, his death opened the door to another round of civil wars. Very quickly, new players rose. Mark Antony, his loyal ally and general, and Octavian, Caesar's adopted heir. They used his name, his memory, and even his official status as a god in Roman religion to build their own power. After more battles and bloodshed, Octavian emerged as the final winner. He took the title Augustus and created a new system, the Roman Empire in all but name. The Republic's shell remained, but inside, power now truly belonged to one ruler. That's why Caesar sits at the center of Rome's great turning point. He didn't establish the empire himself, but he shattered the old Republic so deeply that it could never fully return. His life proved that a single, charismatic general with loyal troops could bend the state around himself. His death proved that killing the man doesn't always kill the shift he started. His legacy is everywhere. His name turns into a title. Caesar echoes in Kaiser and Czar. His military campaigns redrew the map of Europe and spread Roman power deep into Gaul. His political style, using personal popularity, army loyalty, and direct appeal to the people against the old elite, became a pattern for many leaders after him. His assassination lives on as the classic image of political betrayal and the danger of power that grows too large. When you think of Gaius Julius Caesar, the general and dictator who walked Rome from republic toward empire, don't just picture the marble bust with calm eyes and laurel leaves. See the muddy battlefields of Gaul where his legions shout his name. See the dark water of the Rubicon as he steps forward, knowing there is no way back. See the crowded forum where the people roar for him. And finally, see the tight ring of senators, the flash of blades, and the moment when one man's fall marks the end of one world and the start of another.
If this story of Julius Caesar, the general and dictator who walked Rome from republic toward empire, kept you hooked, don't forget to hit like, subscribe to Legends of All Time, and check out the other videos on our channel. More great lives and turning points in history are waiting for you there.